Hello, welcome back to the Remote Sensing Cookbook. In this video tutorial, we're going to introduce you to MapReady, a remote sensing toolkit supported by Alaska Satellite Facility. There are a few items that you should note before using MapReady. First, you can use MapReady to process SAR and optical data in a variety of formats. Additionally, MapReady is unable to process Sentinel-1 data. An alternative processing application should be Snap, which you can check out in one of our other videos. Finally, MapReady is no longer supported in terms of updates or tech help, so feel free to post them on our GitHub forum discussions page if you have any tech-related questions for this program. We'll link the forum in the description below. To download MapReady on your PC, you can easily just click the link provided on their webpage. While we wait for that to download, we can check out the provided resources. There's a MapReady GitHub page for some basic information and Linux installation help. The ASF website has a brief installation guide for PC users, and there's also a user manual and how-to guide for you to peruse. Installing MapReady. Okay, so once it's finished downloading, you should find a setup wizard in your downloads folder. Go ahead and open that up. Agree to the terms. You can leave the settings as default and click Next. Specify the path you want to save the folder or just leave it as default and then click Install. The wizard should then complete and you can select Finish. After closing the installation window, you should notice two new icons on your desktop, ASF MapReady and ASF Viewer. Let's check out the MapReady application first. When you click on the application, you'll notice that two windows will appear, one showing command line and the other displaying a user interface. Focusing on the interface, you'll see a lineup of tabs at the top of the window, each of which you can enable in the general window by checking the processing step you want to apply. Underneath this section is the input file directory. Here you can specify the input file type or browse for a particular file you're seeking. Lower down, you'll see the completed files directory. Here, MapReady will output the processed file. Now let's try and use MapReady to process some data. We'll apply terrain correction and geocode to a map projection. Make sure to also select Keep Intermediates. Great, now that we can specify our input file, I'm going to be using an ALOS Palisar product that I retrieved from the University of Alaska ASF data search. We'll be posting video on how to use that system to retrieve data, so stay tuned for that. Once I find the file, I can add those into MapReady. Once the file is uploaded, the input file directory will populate. You'll notice a preview image will appear. If you select the viewer icon in the tab above, it will open the image preview in the ASF Viewer application. Here you can zoom in on different areas and edit the statistics and map settings for the image. Let's close this and head back to the Terrain Correction tab. Note to perform a terrain correction, you'll need a DEM file of the area. I retrieved the one that I used from the SRTM mission through opentopography.org. I'll add that file to the DEM input location. I'm also going to select Apply Radiometric Terrain Correction and uncheck Interpolate Layover. In the Geocode tab, I'll enter the appropriate zone for my image. In the Export tab, I'll switch the export format to be a GeoTIFF file that I can easily open in ArcGIS or other programs for further processing. I'm now ready to process, so I'll click Process All at the bottom of the window. The command line window will display messages updating me on the processing steps. When the processing is complete, a file will appear in the completed files section of the window. You can preview your processed image in the same way as before with the input file. You'll notice there are a few options at the top of the window, including the option to throw your output product back into the input window for reprocessing. One of the tools also displays the processing log, so if you're running into issues or want to see the steps in the processing, you can go ahead and open that. For fun, we can quickly open up the processed image in ArcGIS. To do this, open up New Project and drag your GeoTIFF file to the map. If you open up the Symbology section, you can remove the background values under the Mask tab. To do this, just check the Display Background Pixel value and enter the value to be 0 and transparent. You're now able to explore the data further within ArcGIS. Thanks for watching! Stay tuned for other remote sensing updates and how-tos, including more MapReady tutorials. Also, reach out to us through our website linked below to submit requests and post questions on our forum.